Okay, so welcome to the webinar, guys. And today we'll be starting with some new topics, right? And the agenda for today is cyber etiquettes, right? So, what etiquettes you should follow. Then we'll be talking about the cyberbullying and how to report cyberbullying. Then about fraud and scam, what frauds and what scams are going on. Then how to stay safe from frauds and scams and reporting scams and frauds in India and US. So how you can report them, right? So let's start with that very quickly. Now, when we are talking about cyber etiquettes, what do you understand by cyber etiquettes? Okay, so when we are talking about cyber etiquette, right? Cyber etiquette, it is also known as netiquette. It is what? It is a combination of internet and etiquette, right? And these are the set of guidelines and rules that govern respectful and appropriate behavior when you are engaging with online activities, right? And you are engaging with others online, right? So there are certain norms and practices to maintain a positive, constructive digital environment, right? So there are different aspects of online communication, emails, instant messaging, social media interactions, forum discussions, online gaming, right? So the purpose of cyber etiquette is what? To promote respectful and considerate behavior in the digital realm, right? So we have to make sure that online interactions are productive, they are inclusive. So it helps you prevent the misunderstandings, the conflicts, and the offensive behavior, right? When you are fostering a sense of community and collaboration. Yep. So what are first we have to be respectful, right? So you should treat others online with the same respect as you would in person, right? Use appropriate language. So avoid offensive or inappropriate language when you are communicating online. And think before you post. Consider the impact of your words before sharing them. Nowadays, we see that there are lots of things online that are like influencing kids and the youngsters, right? A lot. So many of the things people are sharing, and those things are just influencing the teenagers a lot, right? So you should think before the post because it can affect the society, the community, right? Then avoid cyberbullying, right? So the harassing or saying something bad to others online, right? That's not what you should do, right? Use proper grammar and spelling. Make sure your messages are clear and easy to understand, and don't spam, right? So avoid sending repeated content on the internet, right? Then respect the privacy. So do not share or distribute someone's personal information without their consent, right? And when you are sharing content, uh, credit the original source or the author. Let's say you found some information. Let's say whenever we find out some a great article or on some technology, so when we like it, we post it, right? So when we are posting it, we should give credit to the original source, to the author, right? Then be cautious with humor, right? Humor can be of different types, but be cautious with that. The tone and the intent, it can be difficult to convey online, right? So the sarcasm that we use, the jokes that we crack, so it should not affect any community or any person at all, right? Then you should use proper emojis or emoticons, right? So we use a lot, right? The emojis. It enhances the communication, right? It tells that what you are feeling, right? So use them properly and be patient also, right? So it allows others time to respond, and then avoid pressuring them for immediate replies. You can say anyone to just reply quickly, right? Because if someone is busy, how they will, right? Then avoid excessive use of caps lock, right? So I don't know if you have known this. If you write something in caps, in all in uppercase, everything in uppercase, it's considered as shouting or rude. Correct. So avoid excessive use of caps lock, right? Then be mindful of time zones. So let's say you are scheduling the meetings or you are sending time sensitive messages. So at that time, you should take care of other time zones. Let's say someone is uh like US is 11 or 12 hours behind us, right? Behind India in time zone. So at that time you cannot ping them in the morning, early morning, because it's night there, right? So it keeps on changing. The time keeps on updating. Like it's sometimes it's 11 hours, sometimes 9 hours, 9.5 hours. So it keeps on changing. And in different places, different time zones in US are there. So that's the one thing, right? Then you should use proper channels, right? So proper platforms for specific types of communication. So if you have let's say meeting, right? So you can do that meeting not on WhatsApp, right? But you can have a Google Meet or you can use Zoom, right? For the meetings, right? Then you should stay on the topic, right? So you should keep your discussions relevant to the conversation, right? Avoid excessive self promotion. So you should have a balance between sharing your accomplishment and contributing to the discussion. So what you have done, that's good, but what we are here for discussion, right? Even if I'm talking about right now that I have done this, I've done that, so that won't be good, right? We are here for the discussion about the cyber awareness, right? So we'll be talking about cyber awareness. So there should be a balance, right? Then you have to maintain confidentiality. Do not share sensitive or confidential information without proper authorization, right? Then you have to be constructive as well. So provide helpful and constructive feedback rather than simply criticizing, right? You can just give a feedback that this thing could be good, that thing could be good. So the other person will not feel bad, and also the other person will work on it, right? Then there is a huge conflict for copyrights, right? That you have copied this and posted it from your own uh, channel or something. Yeah, on YouTube it's a lot, right? So do not share or use copyrighted material without permission, right? Then there should be cultural sensitivity. So be aware of cultural differences. Avoid making assumptions or generalizations that will be offensive, right? Then stick to the platform rules. So whatever platform you are using, familiarize yourself with the rules and the guidelines of specific online platform, and communities, right? Then help others to understand all these things. So be willing to assist others, offer guidance, share knowledge when it is appropriate, avoid oversharing, right? So whenever you are sharing information about yourself or others, so make sure it is according to the given context only, not everything you should give, right? And be aware of your digital footprint, right? Understand that the online actions can have a lasting consequences. So there should be a positive online presence of yours, right? So these are the etiquettes that you should follow, right? Now we have cyberbullying and how to find if you are being bullied online. Now, what is cyberbullying? How will you define cyberbullying? Great. So, cyberbullying is what? It is a bullying that takes place over digital devices like cell phones, computers, tablets, right? So, it can occur through SMS, text applications, online and social media, uh, posting or sharing negative or harmful content about someone else, right? And if even if you are sharing personal or private information about someone else and it causes embarrassment or humiliation, right? So that is also cyberbullying, right? And some cyberbullying crosses the line into unlawful or criminal behavior as well, right? So the most common places where cyberbullying occurs, social media like your Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, right? Those kinds of platforms. Then text messaging and messaging apps on mobile or tablet devices, instant messaging, direct messaging, and online chatting over the internet. Then online forums, chat rooms, message boards like Reddit, you have, right? Email, right? Then online gaming communities as well, right? So like you have that game PUBG, right? So there you have random people, they can talk with each other, they can have like create their teams and all. So at that time you can communicate with each other, so don't have to say something bad to uh, everyone, right? And you don't have to like you are there to play the game, so play the game, right? Right? So, with the prevalence of social media on digital forums, comments, photos, pictures, content shared by individual, it can be viewed by strangers as well as the friends. So, the content you are you are sharing or any person shares online, both their personal content as well as any negative or hurtful content, it creates a kind of permanent public record of their views, their activities and behavior. So the public record, it can be thought of as online reputation, and it may be accessible to schools, employers, colleges, clubs, and others. Uh, Anyone who may be researching an individual now or in the future, right? Because what happens, like whenever you apply for a job, right? So background checks happen. So in background checks, all the things are checked. That if you have done something bad, uh, either as a like on online or you were there for some bad deeds, anything it can be, right? So cyberbullying can harm your online reputation, right? So not just the person being bullied, but those doing the bullying or participating in it, right? So it has like unique concerns, right? So it can be like persistent, right? It can be permanent, and sometimes it is hard to notice, right? So persistent means digital devices, they give you an ability to immediately and continuously communicate 24 hours a day, right? So it can be difficult for children experiencing cyberbullying to find a relief, right? Because 24 hours you are online and someone is texting you, someone is messaging you, so that becomes the relief becomes difficult, right? Then the permanent, so most information which is communicated electronically, it is permanent and public. So if it is not reported or removed, then it can be a problem. So negative online reputation, and including those who bully, it can impact college admissions, employment, or other areas of life, right? Then it is hard to notice because teachers and parents may not overhear or see cyberbullying taking place. So it's very harder to recognize, right? So all the states, like outside India as well, so they have law requiring schools to respond to bullying. So cyberbullying, it has become more prevalent with the use of technology. So many states they now include cyberbullying or mention cyberbullying offenses under these laws. So schools may take action either as required by the law, right? And like back in the old days, like there were in the colleges, whenever you go to college, so there was ragging, right? Ragging done. So now ragging is also not done. That's not cyberbullying, but it is a kind of bullying, right? So schools they can take actions with local or school policies that allow them to discipline or take other action. Some states they also have provisions to address bullying if it affects the school performance, right? Now, when we are talking about bullying, right? So there are two sources of federally collected data on youth bullying, right? So in 2017, School Crime Supplement to the National Crime Victimization Survey, it indicates that among students 12 to 18 who reported being bullied at school during that year, 15% were bullied online or by text, right? And in 2019, the Youth Risk Behavior Surveillance Team indicates that an estimated 15.7% of high school students were electronic bullied and in the 12 months prior to the survey. Great. So what we have for parents, if you are a parent, so you can prevent the cyberbullying. So you should be digitally aware about it, right? You should monitor your teen's social media sites, applications, browsing history if you have any concern that cyberbullying may be occurring, right? Review or reset your child's phone location and privacy settings. Follow or friend your teen on social media sites so that you have another trusted adult to do so, right? Then stay up to date on latest apps, social media platforms, and digital slang that is used by the children and teens. Then you should know your child's usernames and passwords for email and social media, right? Though nowadays children they don't want to share their credentials with their parents, but yeah, it's necessary, right? Then establish rules about appropriate digital behavior, content, and applications, right? Then it is also more important to be aware of common cyberbullying tactics so that you can recognize cyberbullying and help to prevent it. Like some teachers, they restrict socializing by turning off the chat function in virtual learning environments. right? So some students may use other digital communications like texting or social media to engage in conversations without the teacher's awareness, right? So what parents can do, they can have their child sit with a wall behind them, and then you use a generic photo as a background image to limit what the others see of your home via the webcam, right? Some schools, they may require all students to use the same neutral background image, right? uh, have your child mute their microphone when they are not speaking and sit in quiet place if possible, right? So others cannot hear activities in your home. Check in with your child while they are attending school virtually to see if they are using other devices or applications during the class. Limit the use of other devices and apps, right? Then remember, if student conducts any cyberbullying activity while the using a school laptop, there may be a record of their cyberbullying activity as well, right? So there are digital monitoring apps and software for parents as well, like uh, one from Guardian is app was there, right? So you will be having parental controls, right? And when you have parental controls on your on the device of your child, then you can lock it anytime, right? You can unlock the device, and then you can also check whom they are calling and who is messaging them if there is any cyberbullying going on with your child, right? So there are lots of social media apps and sites. You should just take care of them. There are risk of social media apps and sites, right? So social media has many benefits, right? It should be balanced with the risk it presents. So risks to be aware of: screening for harmful content on websites and apps varies widely, right? Content posted can be incorrect, harmful, or hurtful. Apps and platforms can be used to share harmful or adult content as well. Apps and platforms, they can include users of all ages and allow children to connect with adults. So don't use those kinds of applications. Uh, Applications that uh, can have no moderator for chats, groups, and forums, right? So they allow all types of content to be posted or shared, right? Right? Then apps and platforms, they can allow all types of content to be posted or shared. Those apps should not be used, right? And some apps that include location information, it can be used to get personal information, someone's age, current location, where someone lives, right? So don't use them, right? Then you should not use the apps that allow real-time user videos like live streaming, right? So it can be used to show bullying, violence, anything bad, any harmful act, right? So apps that support telephone calls, they do not show up on a call log, so parents may not know who their children is talking to, right? So that is also a part. Then, as we are talking about cyberbullying, so cyberbullying can be done on online gamings as well, right? So playing video games, it's good, right? And it is a very popular activity. 70% of youth under the age of 18 play video games, right? Now it's more than 70%, right? Even like people above 18, they also play games, right? So there are multiplayer games, right? So whether they are played on a computer game console or handheld system, smartphone, tablet, it allows users to play with people they know in person and others they meet online, right? And 65% of video game players of all ages, they say they play with others. So there are many types of games, right? Right? Now, playing Video games, it can impact players' cognitive, emotional, and social skills, and it can also help children and teens to enhance their problem solving and strategizing skills. Multiplayer team games, it may help you learn how to cooperate with others, and the people who play video games, they may also improve their motor skills and creativity, right? Like there are lots of games, right, which will ask you to find out the path where to go, so it increases your thinking capacity, right? It increases your creative thinking, so that is a good impact, but there are risks as well. So while you are gaming is having potential for positive benefits, it is also a place where cyberbullying can happen. So if someone is not performing well in games, so other players may curse, right, or make negative remarks that can turn into bullying or even exclude that person from playing together. Anonymity of the player and the use of avatars allow users to create alter egos or fictional versions of themselves, right? And it is a part of the fun of gaming, but it also allows users to harass, bully, and sometimes gang up on other players. So when players are anonymous, it can be difficult to hold them accountable when they bully others and use the game as a tool for harassment. Some players may use the game as a means to harass others to get their personal informations, like uh, usernames and passwords. They can even make others' personal information available online, right? Which is known as doxing, right? And it can doxing can compromise not just the information but their parents' information as well, right? So it can make them targets of bullying and harassment, right? So how you can prevent playing the game with your child or observing the game to understand how it works, what a child is exposed to in the game, then checking in periodically with your child about who is online, right, and who is playing the game with them, and which gaming communities, social media, or apps your child uses, helping your child to set the privacy and security settings for their games and apps, and then teaching children about safe digital behavior, including not clicking on links from strangers, not downloading bots, or clicking on links in gaming forums, right? Establish rules about how much time a child can spend playing video games, right? Keeping an open line of communication about your child's digital life, right? Then you as a gamer, what you can do if you are experiencing cyberbullying, right? So tell the player who is bullying to stop, block the player who is bullying from the game, and defriend them. And on social media and in gaming communities, right? Report the player who is bullying in the game group, team, platform, community, or developers, right? Take a break from playing the game, tell a parent or trusted adult, and get some support, right? So these are the things that you can do. So, as we are discussing about cyberbullying, so cyberbullying, it can happen in multiple ways, right? So examples based on real life experiences, it can provide a deeper understanding of the tactics used. Along with other risk factors, bullying can increase the risk of suicide related behaviors. Cyberbullying can be relentless, increase the likelihood of anxiety and depression, right? And some states have chosen to prosecute young people who bully for criminal harassment, right? Sometimes it is seen that people are like they are encouraging someone to die by suicide. Some forms of cyberbullying are forms of harassment that cross the line into criminal activity. Some tactics like occurring in dating relationships, and it can turn into interpersonal violence, right? So a group of students got into trouble at school for being drunk, right? And they accused a girl who knew nothing about it of reporting them to school officials. So they started texting her day and night, posted hateful messages, and other students saw their messages and joined in harassing the girl. So she was bullied constantly via text, in person at school. So she eventually shut down her social media accounts and changed her full phone number. Still, the bullying at school continued, right? So that's something that happened, right? Then there was one other case that students they posted negative comments on another classmates' social media account, commenting on his clothes and sneakers, which was not they were not expensive, named brands. Most of them they were wearing. So they called him poor and continued bullying him in the school. So the boy missed many days of school, trying to avoid the harassment and embarrassment, right? So that's also something that happens, right? So that is one more case for cyberbullying, right? Then what can be the effects of cyberbullying? So it's mental health, right? And emotionally, you feel ashamed or losing interest in the things you love, right? Physically, tired, right? Loss of sleep, experiencing symptoms like stomach aches and headaches, right? So these are the symptoms. So the feeling of being laughed at or harassed by others, it can prevent people from speaking up or trying to deal with the problem. And in extreme cases, cyberbullying can even lead to people taking their own lives. So it can affect in many ways, right? So, but these can be overcome and people can regain their confidence and health, right? Now, how to find out if you are being bullied online? First thing, physical harm is an undeniable sign of bullying, right? So it includes punching, hitting, or striking, name calling, spreading rumors, other verbal harm, right? Then bullies commonly target others based on their gender, race, religion, or anything it can be, right? So recognize the physical signs if there are any, right? Notice if the person invades your personal space, right? Consider the ways that can cause pain without hitting you, making loud noises, pointing bright lights at your eyes, and bullying if person is doing something and they are making fun of it, right? So that is the case of cyberbullying. Now, when we are talking about bullying, so bullying can be offline and online, right? So on offline bullying, when we are talking about offline bullying, it is also associated with the term ragging, right? Because when someone hurt you by saying some inappropriate words, like mostly seniors bullied the junior students just to show them they are very cool, right? So that is offline bullying. And online bullying related to social media platforms, email, and much more. So in online bullying, the person will be bullied and the other person who are bullying, both are invisible. On virtual platforms they are doing it, right? So the person makes a fake profile to hurt someone's self-esteem. So mostly many of the times it is seen that girls face it a lot, right? The online bullyings, and boys who show them love and make them trust on them, and then they blackmail the girls, right? So this is the real story associated with the online bullying, which is shared by one of the teacher during the interview of a girl, right, who was being bullied by a gang of boys, right? So that happens a lot. So if you are getting a friend request, like even if it is for all, for everyone, not only girls, not only for the boys, but if you are receiving a friend request and you don't know that person, and you start talking to each other, then you are sharing numbers and everything, so that happens, right? So that is the example, right? So someone will like may blackmail you, right? That may also happen, right? So from the study, it is found 50% of persons suffered or suffering from cyberbullying. They face it mostly at school level, right? So in India, cyberbullying status is not very good. 75% of cases were reported in last 2 years, you can say, against cyberbullying. And some of the cases are unsolved, and mostly cases were not reported. So person who is bullied sometimes undergoing depression, trauma, and they were sometimes it leads to suicides. So if a girl harassed by a boy online, that is just narrow mindset, we call it. Correct. From the pandemic, the cyberbullying rate went up. Great. Perfect. Mhm. Correct. So this is cyberbullying, right? Now, the thing is that if someone is bullying you, right? So what can be done? Is there a punishment for cyberbullying? So most of the schools, they just take bullying seriously. They will take action if you are being bullied by other students. So report it to your school, right? People who are victim of any form of violence, including cyberbullying, have a right to justice, and offender will be held accountable. So laws against bullying, particularly on cyberbullying, are new and still do not exist everywhere. That's why many countries they rely on other relevant laws, right, related to harassment, right? So it is important to remember that punishment is not always the most effective way to change the behavior of bully. Sometimes focusing on repairing the harm and mending the relationship can be far better, right? And prohibit communication from a specified person and restrict the use of electronic devices used by that person for cyberbullying, right? That's what you can do, right? So these are the things which you can do. Now, how to report cyberbullying? Now in India, there are helpline numbers. There are different foundations, right? Where you can just report if someone is doing cyberbullying, right? Any harassment. So if I share the link, I have shared the link in the chat. This website will help you in finding all the places where you can report cyberbullying. Yep, great. Then there are websites like Stop Cyberbullying, right? So that is a website of US government. Yep, iCall is also there, and the website that I have shared, right? Then there is Cyberbullying Awareness Action and Prevention. So the cyberbap.org and cyberbullying/reporting. So victim details, bullying details, impact details, and submit it. So some action will be taken against the bully. Now there is a checklist, right? Uh, for Australian government, right? So Australian government also just gives a checklist, right? So if the cyberbullying fits that checklist and the service or platform does not remove the harmful content, it can be reported to e-safety, right? So that is also a website for the people who are from Australia, right? So this is how you can report the cyberbullying, right? Great. Next thing, morphing. Heard of morphing? Great. So there are lots of applications that we use, right? So act of manipulating or blending images to create a composite or hybrid image, right? So transforming the facial features or body of one person to another. So it results in seamless and realistic morphed image. So it is not harmful, but it can be misused in various ways that give negative consequences. Like there were lots of applications, right? I don't remember the names of the application, but that application showed that how you will look like when you are 60 years old or 70 years old, when you are like a old person, right? So that's just for fun. That is also morphing, but it is just for fun, right? Now, there can be different kinds of images, right? So, how morphing can be harmful? So, it can be non consensual morphing, right? Right? So, what is that? Morphing, it can be used to create explicit or images by blending someone's face to another person's body without their consent, right? So, this is a form of image based abuse and it can lead to emotional distress, reputational damage, and harassment of targeted individual, right? There can be fraud and identity theft, right? So, you might have seen like there are lots of applications, right, in which you are speaking but the image is of someone else, right, and that image is moving and you are whatever you speak, that image is speaking that same thing, right? There are lots of applications. Yep, seen that application. So you are singing some song and someone else is just You can use someone else's image in place of it. So that is what, that is also a kind of morphing. Now this thing, it's new to you guys. I think you might have seen in the applications only this thing, right? So back many years back when I was working into the artificial intelligence domain, so at that time this came, right? So it is a library in artificial intelligence which used to do this, right? Even there is a artificial intelligence tool and the libraries that we use, right? So chat gpt is just for chatting, right? There are libraries like opencv2 related to the AI and the camera and all. So even if you are looking at your right, or even if you are not looking at the camera, like sometimes people feel, right? It's just created for those people whenever you are recording something, and you cannot concentrate directly on the camera. Yeah, correct. That NVIDIA uh, library that came, right? So you will just only you are seeing somewhere else, but it will adjust your eye to the camera, right? So that is one more good thing, right? That can be done, right? Right? But it can have bad impacts, like identity theft can happen. So it can be used to create fake identification documents, manipulated images, fraudulent purposes, and these documents can be used to deceive individuals, institutions, or systems, potentially leading to financial loss or identity theft, right? Then there can be misinformation and manipulation, right? So it can be used to create fake or misleading images that are shared on social media or other platforms, contributing to the spread of misinformation. And these manipulated images, they can be used to manipulate public opinions or create confusion, right? So many of the times we have seen with not even with us, but with the politicians, it happened a lot that someone changed the image, someone changed the background, uploaded it. So now the whole bad information is going, right? Some bad information is being followed by the people, right? And it is like hate feelings are being spread, right? So that is also done through morphing, right? And morphing is a technique which is used to create deep fake videos, right? Now, deep fake videos are what? When someone's face is imposed onto another person's body to create realistic but fabricated videos, right? So, deep fakes, they have potential to cause significant harm by spreading false information, manipulating public figures, statements, or inciting conflicts, right? So that is what, that is morphing. Yes, Pranali, we can detect if there is morphing done or not, right? So what we do, the image that we found, we reverse engineer it, right? The way someone has morphed it, we reverse engineer and find out the real image. So cyber fraud or cyber scam, or you can call it online fraud as well. So these are criminal activities which are conducted through the use of technology, right? Targeting individuals, businesses, or organizations for financial gain. And it involves the manipulation, deception, or exploitation of the trust of the individual, personal information, financial resources, Uh, so cyber fraud can take various forms, right? It can be done through phishing, right? Phishing is what? Where fraudsters they impersonate legitimate entities like banks, online services, or government agencies and attempt to trick individuals into revealing sensitive information like password, credit card details, or social security number. So it is done through deceptive emails or text messages, right? Then there can be identity theft. So identity theft it occurs when someone wrongfully acquires and uses another person's personal information like their name, social security number, financial account details without their consent. And cyber criminals they use this information to commit various fraudulent activities, right? Now, back in the old days when we used to purchase SIM cards, right? So we used to give our voter IDs or any identity card, right? Government identity card and photos, right? So when you purchase that, at that time you were not having this thing of like fingerprint and something like that, right? Nowadays you purchase the SIM card, so you have to give your fingerprint as well. But back in the old days, it was not there. You just give your voter ID and the and your photos and done. You'll get your SIM. You don't know that with that voter ID, many people have purchased SIM cards on your name. This happened a lot in real. Then there are online scams. So there is a wide range of fraudulent schemes that tricks victim into providing money or sensitive information. Now, what kind of scam is going on nowadays? You have electricity bills, right? You have to pay electricity bills. So, what will happen? A text message will arrive on your phone or on your parents' phone that you have not paid your electricity bill yet, right? And for paying the electricity bill, click on this link and pay the bill, otherwise, your electricity connection will be cut, right? These are the things that are going on. See, electricity department they never ping you on your as like text message. They will either call you or they will send someone to your home if someone has not paid electricity bill from last 1 year. So someone will arrive at your home, right? For checking that yes, are you there and if you are paying the bill or not, right? So that's the thing, right? So these types of scams are happening, right? Then lottery scams are there a lot, right? So you might get text messages that you have won a lottery. To claim the reward, click on this link, right? So I have won a lot of them as well, right? So like I have won like millions of dollars in those lotteries, right? So they always say, like whenever they will send or someone will call you, so they will always say that you have won a lottery of this much amount and you just have to pay the fees. right? Some fees like 2000, 3000, 5000, right? And if you pay that, then done, right? Then there is a fraud which is known as BEC, business email compromise, right? So it is a fraud which targets businesses and organizations. The cyber criminals, they impersonate as high ranking executives or business partners, and they send fraudulent emails to deceive employees into wiring funds or disclosing confidential information, right? Then there can be online auction fraud, right? So it happens in online marketplaces or auction platforms. So many, like you might have seen in Facebook, there is marketplace as well, where you can purchase second-hand items and everything, right? OLX, that is also one example, right? So scammers, they post fake advertisements for products or services. They request payment, but they never deliver the item, right? So victims lose money without receiving the promised goods or services, right? So that is one more thing. Then you all use Instagram a lot, right? Or sometimes you use it. Now in Instagram, there are advertisements like for purchasing, like sometimes jewelry or sometimes clothes or sometimes sneakers in a very low price, right? Many of the pages are there. Believe me, those pages will take money, but they will never deliver and they will never reply back to you. So, when we were in college, so it happened with one of my friend. So he ordered something and they said that it's of around 2900. So he paid 2900 rupees, and then after that, after 4 5 days, when the order was not delivered, he just pinged them again on WhatsApp that my order has not arrived. They asked the that order number and everything, and when they asked that, they said that there are shipping charges also. So you have to pay like 700 or 800 rupees more, and then your order will be delivered. So he paid those 700 and 800 rupees again, and then that phone number was switched off, no contact, nothing, right? So you should not believe on all the advertisements that you are having, right? Then there are frauds related to advance fee as well. So it is also known as 419 scams, right? Or Nigerian prince scams, right? So it involves the promise of a large sum of money in exchange for a small upfront payment or personal information. So victims, they are lured to believe they will receive a financial reward, but they end up losing money, right? And they share their information as well. So that is one other thing that you should take care of, right? There was a scam, there is still going on, and it's going on. I've not heard it in Indian market yet, but it's in US. So what happens? whenever you go to gas station, right, or petrol station, so at that time you swipe your card. So once there was a person, one of my student, and he was having, like, his wife was having his card. So she just went to the petrol station, filled the petrol, swiped the card, and that card was copied as soon as she just swiped it, right? And once the card was swiped, so someone else got the details of that card, and they were using that card for almost 4 months, right? And the person who used that card, that person was traveling, like, somewhere in Middle East, sometimes in Vietnam, India, everywhere, right? So from that card the payment was happening, all the flights were booked, right? So that was around $40,000 which were uh, spent, and then they found it, right? So these kinds of scams are also going on, right? Then in India, this scam go is going, but it is in ATMs, right? This is known as an attack which is skimming. Heard of skimming? Now skimming is what? You went to ATM, right? This is the machine, right? This is the screen, and there you will put your card, and then you have the keypad, right? From where you will enter your pin, right? So what happened? Uh, you just put your card in the machine, right? Now that place where you put your card, that place has an extra covering to it, and that covering is put by someone else, some attacker or some of the person who is doing the scam, right? So that extra covering just reads your card and copies your card. Then the numbers, the keypad that you see, this keypad is also not original, but this keypad is a keylogger, right? Keylogger is what? Um, let's say keylogger is something where it is where you are, like, logging the keystrokes. Whatever keystrokes you are making, it's being logged, right? It's being recorded. So attackers, they put a fake keypad and a device, a fake device, in the place of your where you put your ATM card, right? And then you put the card, your card is copied, you enter the pin is recorded. Now they can withdraw money from your account very easily. This attack is known as skimming, right? So there was skimming in ATM machines, and there was skimming on the swiping machines, right? See, what was happening? Attacker will put a fake device here and a fake keypad here in the ATM machine. So the fake device will record your ATM card and will copy your ATM card, and the fake keypad will record your PIN. You will be able to get the amount, right? Whatever amount you are withdrawing, you will be able to get that. But after that, you will have a message that this much amount of money has been deducted from your account, because they have recorded everything. Now attacker will be getting money out of your account. right? So that is skimming. This is also happening. Clear? So these are your cyber frauds and cyber scams. Now, Jamtara is what? When we are talking about Jamtara, it is a movie related to this only, the financial frauds that are going, right? So these financial frauds, what they do, it is a place, right? It is a place in India, right? Which is related to all the calls that you get, right? So what happened? Like there are people who do what? They do calls, right? They make calls and they will call you and they will say that, hi, we are talking from the bank and your credit card has been disabled for the security purpose, right? So do one thing, share your credit card details, your credit card number, right? Your CVV and expiry date will verify you, and then there will be an OTP by which your credit card will be renewed, right? So people who don't know about this scam, they will just share the information and their money will get lost. Now, one of the biggest frauds that you will not even understand if it is uh, like in real a fraud or is it a fake thing, like it's a real thing or it's a fraud. You won't understand it. There are things which are too good to be true, right? Now, what are those too good to be true things? So I got a call uh, from SBI Bank that we are talking from SBI and we want to give you a credit card. I said, okay. Then they said that we have a policy for you, like we have an offer for you. If you purchase the credit card now, you have to give 10,000, and then after that, you will get like two vacations free in which like in a year, and every vacation can be of maximum 10 days, right? And that vacation, the whatever you will spend and your hotel rooms and everything will be on us, right? So bank will pay for that, right? So it was too good to be true. No bank will do that, right? And then what I did, I said, okay. So they said that, yeah, just do one thing, go to the portal of SBI Bank. Now, if someone is asking you to go to the portal of SBI Bank, then you will think, yes, it is real, it's not fake, right? So if you are logging into to the banking portal, you will say that yes, it's not it's not a fraud. So I went to the bank portal. Then they said that in the banking portal, go to pay and do one thing, search for this. So they gave me a name of any enterprise, and that enterprise name was actually registered with the bank. So on the bank website, it was showing the name of that enterprise, and it clicked my mind that why I'm paying any enterprise the money. I'm not directly paying the bank, but from the bank website, I'm paying to any uh, enterprise, right? But I just continued the call. I said, yeah, I'm there. So they said, now enter 10,000 and click on pay. So I said, okay, I've done that. Then they said, no, we haven't received the money. Can you confirm? I said, yeah, I have done that. So then after that, she became angry. And when she was angry, I got to know that it is a scam. And all of her, like 10, 15, 20 minutes, she was on a call with me, were wasted, right? So she was angry. She said, do whatever you want, you can, and these kinds of things, right? That I said, I will report. So she said, do whatever you want, you cannot do anything. And then she dropped the call. So that's how the things are happening nowadays, right? So you should be aware about it, that what things are happening and why they are happening. So these are financial frauds that are happening nowadays, right? Then matrimonial frauds. Heard of any matrimonial frauds? So after posting an impressive online profile on matrimonial site, posing as prospective bridegroom, fraudsters, they befriend women or men. They use voice changing apps to pose as the parents of the bride or the groom, and when talking to the woman, they are trying to con. Now, once they gain confidence, the fraudster asks the woman to transfer money into their bank account, stating an emergency, and then they disappear without a trace, right? So the cycle continues, right? So that is matrimonial fraud. How can you protect yourself from that? Ignore requests to send money and report the matter that authorities to the authorities immediately. Never give your financial uh, information like credit card number, right, to any of the people you befriend on the internet, right? Now, be aware of a person who quickly asks to contact from a different email ID or messaging service, asks for your address. Do a criminal background check on the person, meet person in public places, inform your friends or family about where and who you are meeting. So, these are the things that you can do, right? So, that is matrimonial fraud, right? Then there are frauds which are related to jobs. Seen any of the frauds? Great. People ask for money for jobs. Yeah, correct. Part-time money. So we have seen those advertisements a lot, right? So you came across an online job listing from a very well-known company offering work, right? And work from home jobs. Is it too good to be true? Is the company really the company it claims to be? Right? So scammers will try to recreate the legitimate company's website by altering the web address. So if you are not looking closely, you may not realize that you are on a scam website. So the real company will look like this. And what if you are getting like this? So both are infosectrain.com. One is info-sec-train.com, right? So when you are looking at the fake website, the company addresses this. So it is a subtle change. It could indicate that you are not on the company's real websites. So scammers will steal photos and images from real companies. They will create social media accounts, emails, and websites. They try to make job seekers feel safer when in doubt. So do your own research for the company information. Contact the company directly, right? Then they can do the frauds, the job frauds for gaining access to personal financial information, right? And this is one of the oldest and most well-known scam tactic in the books. So even the most tech savvy job scammers, they use this method because still works, right? So before you start a job, you need to give your employer your social security number, right? And most of the companies, they pay salaries direct deposit, so you will need to share your banking information too. So if a company is asking you for this information early, or wanting your bank information before they can offer you a job, so the job is likely a scam, right? Then uh, communicating through the chat. So some scammers, they use Telegram or WhatsApp to communicate and conduct fake job interviews with job seekers, right? So it is rare to actually secure a job or conduct a job interview with a legitimate company through social media platform or chat platform. So if you are approached through chat, be sure to request that they will give you a call and do research before interviewing and see if the result has any red flags, right? Then there can be Google Doc as well, right? So very less known scams, they include inviting you or mentioning you in a Google Doc that you won't normally use. So the name may or may not be someone you know, and the little uh, document will look legit, right? So pay close attention to the email used to send the doc as well as the links that may be included. So these scams will provide a link for you to click on start earning now, right? So if you click on start earning now, so the scammer will earn a lot, right? And then uh, it's not completely out of the norm to have to obtain for your own home office equipment. So job seekers, they do not need to do so prior to being hired. Many scammers, they will ask for you to send money for the equipment needed to perform the job, right? And they will say that it will be reimbursed in their first paycheck, but nothing happens, right? There can be wire transfers, there can be unsolicited job offers, right? Online reshipping, right? And do you guys know there is a scam going on with the post office as well? Do you know that? Everyone knows post office, right? What is post office? So what is happening? You'll get a call from post office. Like they will say that we are talking from post office and there is a parcel for you. Someone sent a parcel. Now that parcel is stuck because of some problems in the address, and the postman was not able to find out your address, so he like came back and submitted it in the post office. Now once found that this happened, so you will think, like, people thought that yeah, someone may have sent a parcel for me, so they will say that if you want this parcel again, we will just need the delivery charges now, right? So we'll have to input delivery charges, so pay this much of amount and your parcel will be with you, right? Then sometimes you get a call that you have a parcel from somewhere but it is stuck in customs, so we have to pay the custom duty and your parcel will be sent to you, right? That is one other thing, because we order things a lot online and even from outside India, right? Like shoes and everything. So like if you go to the website of shoes like Nikes and all, so they will be shipped from Vietnam or Singapore, right? And there are chances it will get stuck in the customs. So attacker has a very good chance that you will fall in the trap, right? So this is a fake tool that attacker has deployed. Perfect. Now the next one that we have is fake service operator. Now what happened? Uh, One of the person I know, right? Like he was my student. So what he did, like he was getting whenever he was calling someone, right? He was getting a like the operator was saying that you don't have enough balance, you don't have sufficient balance, right, to make this call. So he said that I have the balance, so I want to talk to the customer care. So he called the customer care, right? But it was like that number which was what we say, like toll free number, right? So whenever you call on toll free number, those toll free numbers, they are always busy. Yep, you have seen that, like it's always busy, right? So what it did, he thought, let's find out some mobile number. So he found the mobile number on Google, right? And how he just believed them, because the phone number was of his nearest Airtel store, right? So his nearest Airtel store was there, and he just believed it, and he made that call. So he called them. He said that I'm getting this problem that whenever I'm calling someone, it says that you don't have enough balance, but I have like balance. Like nowadays, calls are free. You just have to do the data recharge and you are getting calls free. So I'm getting that. So that person who was on the other side, he convinced him that your mobile phone has a problem. The Airtel service does not have a problem, but your mobile has a problem. So it was a fake website created. We got to know, like he told me, and then we discussed and we found that it was a fake website from which he got the number. So he said that, yeah, like, okay, if it's the problem with my phone, what can I do? So they said that there is a software with the name AnyDisk, right? That you can download on your mobile phone, and it is a remote software. So just give us the access of your mobile phone, we'll check. And he believed, he gave them the access, right? He downloaded the application, gave the remote access. Now after going through everything, all the settings and all, after like 5-10 minutes, the person, the scammer said that, okay, we uh, saw your phone, it's fine, so we have deducted 5 rupees from your phone pay, just check and let us know. Now he said, no, I don't didn't received any message for that. So he said, you can check your phone pay and then let us know. So the phone was like under control of the attacker, like he was having remote connection of the phone. And the person, like, he just opened his phone pay, entered his pin, checked the balance. He said, no, nothing deducted. They said, okay, no problem, we'll check it on our end. They got the ID of the phone pay, they got everything, right? Like the pin of the phone pay. And after that, after 5-10 minutes, he got a message that 17,000 has been deducted from your account. So this is fake service operator scam going on. So whenever you are searching for any operator, make sure you are not just calling on any phone number, because they will make you fall in the trap, right? And you will believe them, right? It's not that you know about it, but it may happen that you will fall in the trap. Like everyone falls in the trap like this. Many of the people, even after knowing, they have done this mistake, right? So, one thing that you should do is don't believe anyone, right? Then we have is fake jobs on Telegram, right? So, in Telegram also, there are lots of jobs going on, right? You will get messages. So, like, I have lots of examples I've seen. uh like I was telling you, like one of the person, he found job, a part-time job. So in that job you have to watch the videos, and for watching the videos you are getting money, right? So it was a great work. Like at night, when you are back from office, after that you can watch the videos. So what happened? They said that you have to watch the videos, but you have to give 1,000 rupees. Once you give those 1,000 rupees to me, we'll send you the videos, watch them, and let us know once you have watched. So he said, okay. So he gave 1,000 rupees and he watched the videos, came, went back and said, yeah, I have watched all the 5 videos. right? And then what happened? He got 1300 in return, right? So he was happy. Like one day, 300 rupees, it's not bad, right? So again, he said, okay, now next, what I have to do is, they said again, you have to watch the videos. The more you watch the videos, you will get the money, and the more money you will pay, so you will get more money. So he said, okay, this time 5,000. He gave 5,000. Great. Then after giving 5,000, he watched the videos, went back. He got like 7,200 rupees in a single day. Again, not a bad deal, right? So there was a group, a Telegram group, in which there were people and they were saying that, yeah, I got 1,30,000 in 5 days. I got 5 lakh rupees. I got that much. So everyone was talking about it, right? So that's why he believed, because there were lots of people. Then after that, he said, okay, I want to make it more. So he gave directly 30,000 rupees. They said there is a slot for 30,000 rupees. For 30, you may get 50 to 60,000, around double, right? So he said, okay, if I'll get double, then it's fine. It's great. So he paid 30,000. Then after that, he watched the videos, went back, and there was nothing. No phone number, no page, no users in that group, nothing. He tried to call that number, no one was there, right? So these kinds of scams are going on. You will feel that, yeah, it's fine, it's working, and we have that, all the things, right? But still, it is a scam. So you have to be aware about these scams, right? Great. Now when we are talking about these scams, so how can we report them? No, you cannot catch, and we don't have cybersecurity team, right? You just can report them, right? Once reported, if found, then even not your money will be back, because there is no policy for that in India, right? As I was telling you about the United States scam, the skimming scam, in which you swipe your card and then your card someone else was using. So that person whose card was used, so $40,000 were uh, deducted. So the government gave it back because they thought that it is the responsibility of the government and the bank to take care of it, that where the money is going, right? They should have asked the person that if you are spending this money or not. So they gave that money back. But here, I don't think there is any law for this. Okay, so how you can report? You can go to Internet Crime and Complaint Center, the IC3, right? For US, if you are a US citizen and you want to report any cyber crime that happened with you, something, anything that happened, right? So that you can just report, right? Then there are other websites for reporting, right? There is US CERT, right? US Department of Homeland Security. So US CERT.gov.in, right? That also you can report. right? So this is one other way of doing the things. Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency. That you can also check. Yeah. So now in India, you have a phone number as well. Yes, this one, National Cybercrime Reporting Portal 1930, right? You can call on that, right? So that number is good. Then what else? How much aware about you guys are about this? Great. Gov the government, like mygovernment.in slash stay safe online, right? That also you can just visit, right? Perfect. Then there is one more, Cyber Swachhta Kendra, as you said, right? That also you can visit, right? So with this, you can report, right? So these are the places where you can report. Safety Commissioner can help you in reporting as well, right? And Safety Commissioner will help you in finding out the culprit, right? So e-safety commission, there was a website that I shared with you, right? E-safety commissioner, right? From Australian government, right? So it can help you in cyberbullying and illegal restricted content if it is there sent to you. Then also image based abuse or adult cyber abuse, any kind of abuse that will be reported there, right? Great. Perfect. Then if you want to report the abuse, right? So these are the places, right? And then this was it, right? So all these are the things that you can just follow just to be safe.